Hi everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. In this video I'd like to look at how the US eminis have been unfolding over the last couple of days, and they have been a couple of absolutely fantastic days. So I'd like to go through these and show you how MTPredictor has been doing. As usual, we start with the 15-minute charts. Remember, we always look at the larger degree time frames and then try and orient our trades in the direction of those larger degree time frames. This is the new beta version of MTPredictor version 7, so I just want to have a look at the 15-minute chart, particularly the NQ, because this had the clearer pattern, particularly yesterday. Now yesterday was Tuesday, June the 12th. I've just scrolled back to before yesterday even opened, so I want to show you the power of our decision point tool in its ability to project in advance areas of support and resistance. And this is the important thing, is knowing these areas in advance. So here we had a nice pivot at this point here, so we just right mouse click, do decision point, and as you can see it's placed on our chart down here in advance. If I scroll forward, you can see how the market came down, clipped it on the low of the day on Monday, bounced back up on the open on Tuesday, but the most important point excuse me, is how it came back down and then made a low at this decision point here. As you can see, the market then rallied up and this actually nailed the low of the day. But the point being is, because we had 15-minute DP support here, when we go down to our 3 and 5 minute charts, we should be looking at trades that are basically going on the long side. In other words, we're looking for new long trades. So let's have a look at this and see how this unfolded. So here's a 3-minute chart of the NQ for yesterday. Now remember, we had our 15-minute support down here. In fact, I'll just put this on for us. Just go to the 15-minute chart, put that back on, down there, and you can see in version 7 of MTPredictor, when we change time frames, our decision points are held on the chart. So we can see here that this was larger degree support. The market then rallied up, it came down. It then came into this point here, which it gave us an automatic TS3 buy setup. This was actually a standard trade setup because the STF was black, so all traders, advanced and standard new MTPredictor traders would have been taking this trade. So we put the analysis on, again easy, right mouse click, select analysis. As you can see here, this would then have got you in with 10 contracts. Our stop would have been here. This is our position sizing, which keeps our losses small and under control. And as you can see, this turned out to be an absolutely fantastic trade, with the NASDAQ rallying up beautifully to the first target. Here we come and look at our STF. The STF is what we call weak, because it hasn't reached our strength band here. So we'd come out at this first target for, well, an absolutely brilliant plus 9.6 R. Now this is important because this profit is 9.6 times the initial risk. In other words, for risking $400, this would have produced a profit of just over 3,800. And this is the true power of position sizing, in that we keep our losses small and under control, but our profits are much, much, much larger than our losses. And this is what produces profit over time, is having small losses and big profits. And this is exactly what MTPredictor is designed to do. If I skip through some of the other markets, you can see here on the ES exactly the same kind of thing. A lovely TS3 buy setup here. You wouldn't have been stopped out after that first level there, which was a double bottom, so that would have gone up from being a nice target as well. Good example on the YM here is because if we look for standard traders, you can see here would have been an automatic setup, red STF, but this would have been a minus 1R loss. We can see we placed the analysis on, you would have been short and then stopped out. But remember, advanced traders would have actually been on the long side, so advanced traders would have avoided that. But let's go here and look at this. Here's a setup here. Now this would be a perfect valid trade setup, black STF and in the direction of our larger degree DPs, but you see it was stopped out. And this is the important point for all traders to understand, is that when you are stopped out, it's not that you're wrong, it's that you keep the losses small. So here our position sizing would have kept the losses at just minus 1R. So on this loss you'd have lost minus 1R. You then came into this low here, you then right mouse click, place your trade on, and even at the first target the profit was plus 6.9. Can I call that 7 for easy maths? So this again shows the power of the position sizing, that the loss here was only 1R and the profit here was almost 7R, so 7 times greater than the initial risk. This means that you could actually make 6, in this particular example, 6 consecutive losing trades. Then this one profit would have put you back in profit overall. And this is the true key to successful trading, having trade setups that when the losses come through they're small and the profits come through they're large. But the point I wanted to make in this video was how this 15-minute decision point was on the chart in advance. This gave us our potential support zone, which then set the trend up for the rest of the day, and for me the clearest signal was on our NQ, which again gave us our plus 9.6R profit. If I go back to the previous day, which was this day here, I'll just take this off, and we go back to before Monday even opened, so I go back to here. Here is a pivot, right mouse click, decision point. There's our decision point on the chart before Monday even opened. Just look what happened. Market came up, nailed that high absolutely beautifully. Market then declined down beautifully. So for Monday you should be looking for short trades on the way down. And there weren't very many on the 3-minute chart, but if I just clear this off and I change this to a 5-minute chart, I just want to show you what happened on Monday. So on Monday, this was the setup we got on the 5-minute chart. Remember, the 15-minute was down, so we were looking for sell setups. And here was our sell setup. Again, our position sizing kept our risk small under control. This would have actually been a holy grail trade setup. And even at the first target here, when the market came into here, the STF was strong. So no matter whether you were trading it as a holy grail trade setup, which means aiming for the typical wave 3 WPG, or you're using the standard MTPredictor trade management guidelines of when the market is strong, when it reached the first target, you swap to the ATR stop. Let's just put that on. These are our red dots here. It means you'd have come down here and you'd have actually exited this trade about there on the close. So on Monday, this 5-minute NQ short would have actually banked a profit of plus 8.9. In other words, almost 9 times the initial risk. So this is why I wanted to do this video, just to show how good MTPredictor has been over the last couple of days. Now obviously the cyclical nature of trading means that we don't have good days like this all the time, because markets revolve around in periods of good times, bad times and quiet times. So I just wanted to show that when the good times come through, you can have trades where the profits are much larger than the losses, but the key to successful trading is when the bad times come through, the losses are kept small and under control. But anyway, the last couple of days, which have been Monday and Tuesday 11th and 12th of June, on, as we've seen here, Monday on the NQ here we had a beautiful plus 8.9R profit, which, as we've already seen, if I go to the 15-minute chart, was in the direction of the 15-minute DP. And we've already seen that the 15-minute DP again caught the low yesterday, which was June the 12th. So when we come back to, in this example, it was the 3-minute chart, wasn't it? We then had our setup here going up for plus 9.6, so a couple of good days. The last question is, how do you follow all these different markets? Well, in version 7 it's dead easy. We have a scanner. So you have your scanner where all your markets are there and all your time frames are there. So as soon as the setup comes in, you'll be alerted to that setup no matter what market or time frame, as long as it's being followed here in your scanner.